job. Okay, really good job. We weathered the storms. Okay, we came together. Y'all, I heard you more in huddles and in timeouts than I've heard you all year long. That matters. That matters, right? The collective positivity, the collective accountability, talking each other up, that is huge, y'all. Yes, we are closing that thing. We are closing that fist right here. But I'm so proud of the way that you came together, the way that you fought in that fourth quarter and those runs, the way that we came together.
Caitlin Clark just did something that no one in the history of the WNBA has ever seen. But behind the scenes, the Indiana Fever are reaching a breaking point. Imagine breaking a record that stood for decades, putting up numbers that seem...
Hopefully if your coach gets a technical, that fight should fire the team up. You should want to go to war after that, and I feel like we did, and kind of made a little bit of a run there, and then especially at the start of the fourth quarter, we made a run to close it within a minute and a half or 2 minutes, which is pretty impressive out of the start of the fourth as well.
Okay. So that was Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston immediately after the game. Now, I'm pretty sure Stephanie White press conference has been released, and we're going to look at it, and we're going to super dissect it, because I need somewhat of an explanation. How the hell do you blow a 19-point...
like they belong in a video game, and still feeling like the entire building is about to collapse around you? That was the reality during the Fever's recent showdown with the Chicago Sky. It was a night of historic highs and shocking lows that left fans wondering if the team is actually moving forward or just drifting toward a disaster. Most people are talking about the stat line, and for good reason. For the first time ever, two teammates, Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston, both dropped 30-point double-doubles in the same game. It was a masterclass in chemistry, a display of what Clark calls telepathy on the court. When those two are clicking, it feels like they're playing a different sport than everyone else. Boston was dominant in the paint, putting up a career-high 34 points, while Clark was weaving through defenders like they were statues. But as the final whistle blew, the celebration felt a little hollow. That's because the real story isn't just about the points. It's about how close they came to a total embarrassment. The Fever held a massive 19-point lead, the kind of lead that should mean the game is over. Instead, they let the Chicago Sky claw their way back, forcing the game into a high-stakes overtime. It wasn't a superstar who led the comeback, either. It was Sydney Taylor, a rookie who had barely touched the floor in her previous game. She went on a heater that exposed every single weakness in the Fever's defensive rotation. It was unbelievable to watch a bench player who usually sees 3 minutes of action suddenly look like an all-star against a team with championship aspirations. But the drama didn't stay on the court. During the heat of the game, Coach Stephanie White and Caitlin Clark both picked up technical fouls. On the surface, it looked like a coach standing up for her player, but the aftermath revealed something much deeper. When the cameras turned toward the press conference, the tone shifted. Caitlin was asked about the technicals, and her response was telling. She said she was glad to see her coach get a tech because the team needs to feel like their leader is going to war for them. To many insiders, this felt like a subliminal shot. It was as if Caitlin was saying, "Finally, you're actually doing your job." This has reignited a massive debate among the fans that's been simmering for weeks. There's a growing vocal group of supporters who are actually starting to miss Christie Sides. They're looking at the way Stephanie White handles these collapses and wondering if the change was actually for the better. Speculation is swirling that if Christie Sides had been given this roster, Caitlin would be even more protected and the team wouldn't be blowing these massive leads. It's a bold claim, especially considering the hype around White, but when you give up 39 points in a single quarter, people are going to start pointing fingers at the person holding the clipboard. The tension is high because the stakes are even higher. Despite the coaching drama and the blown leads, Caitlin Clark is still rewriting the history books at a pace that is frankly terrifying. She's only in her third season, yet she's already shattering records for 30-point, 10-assist games. She's moving past legends of the game like they're barely there. If she decided to walk away tomorrow, she'd already have a resume that rivals the greatest to ever play. But she isn't walking away, she's just getting started. The concern is whether the organization can keep up with her. As the team looks toward the next stretch of the season, they have to find a way to close the fist. They're winning games, but they're doing it in a way that feels unsustainable. You can't rely on your two stars to put up 30 points every single night just to survive a blown 19-point lead. There are accusations surfacing that the team's urgency disappears the moment they get comfortable, and in a league as hungry as the WNBA, that's a recipe for a shocking exit in the playoffs. They have the talent, and they clearly have the telepathy between their two pillars, but the internal chemistry between the roster and the coaching staff is still a major question mark. At the end of the day, we're witnessing greatness, but it's a messy kind of greatness. Caitlin Clark is the best women's basketball player we've ever seen, and her pairing with Aaliyah Boston could be a dynasty in the making. But as the rumors about locker room tension and coaching frustrations continue to grow, you have to wonder if the Indiana Fever are their own biggest obstacle. They escaped with a win this time, but the next time they face a heater from the bench, they might not be so lucky. It makes you think, is this team truly united, or are we just watching two superstars carry a heavy load while the foundation cracks beneath them? Let us know what you think in the comments, because this story is far from over. What's even more shocking than the blown lead was the admission that came straight from the podium after the game. When a coach is asked about a late-game collapse, you expect to hear about missed rotations or tough shots. You don't expect to hear that a professional team simply didn't practice for the moment. Stephanie White admitted that the team hadn't worked on their fouling strategy in late clock situations as much as they needed to. It's a revealed weakness that has fans pulling.
What similarities do you see between these three games and losing the lead like that, and what can you do to just stop that from happening?
Yeah, I mean, most of it's on us. Like, we just have to make sure that we're taking care of the ball. I think in some of those stretches where teams go on run, we turn the ball over 2 out of the 3 possessions in a row, and then we're not getting stopped. So for us, it's about sometimes maybe slowing ourselves down a little bit, making sure that we get a quality shot, and then locking down on defense. I think Chicago got out some transition buckets, got downhill a little bit, hit the pocket, and we weren't able to recover. So for us, just about taking care of the ball and then making sure that we're executing.
Leah, that's a hair out. How do you have a roster with this much talent and not have a plan for when the game is on the line? It felt like the coaching staff was just crossing their fingers and hoping for the best, rather than taking control of the game. This lack of preparation is exactly why these double-digit leads keep vanishing into thin air, and it's putting an unnecessary amount of pressure on Caitlin to bail the team out every single night. But the weirdness didn't stop with the coaching tactics. It extended to the press room itself. There was a noticeable silence when it came to the most important question of the night. No one in the media scuffle actually grilled the staff on how they managed to let a 19-point lead evaporate against the team they should have handled with ease. It's almost as if there's a protective bubble around the coaching staff, preventing the hard questions from being asked while the players are left to answer for the mistakes. The narrator of this story isn't the only one who found it, SHT, that the 19-point collapse was treated like a footnote rather than a crisis. When the media stops holding a team accountable for their damning mistakes, it usually means the problems are being swept under the rug rather than fixed. This silence is deafening, and it leaves fans wondering if the real issues within the organization are even being addressed at all. Beyond the stats and the coaching errors, there's an even more exposed truth that people are finally
maintaining a sense of urgency in what we do, understanding that we have to value every possession all the time, offensively and defensively. We can't relax. Every team in this league is hungry, and we have to be the hungrier team. And I feel like there are times when we have a lead that we relax and we take possessions off, and you can't do that because runs happen quickly.
And then my other one was about the techs. Caitlin said she was glad to see you get a tech because teams like to go to war after that, but she also said you...
Look, Caitlin Clark subliminally... See, this is what makes Caitlin so great, because she subliminally dissed...
Starting to notice. Every single time Caitlin Clark steps onto that hardwood, the opposing team plays like their lives are on the line. It doesn't matter if it's a top-seeded powerhouse or a struggling squad, they are coming for her. We saw it with the way Chicago celebrated every small victory, and it's creating a DMN, near impossible environment for the Fever to find any rhythm. While other stars in the league might get a night off or a lazy defensive matchup, Caitlin is dealing with a target on her back that seems to grow every week. It's a level of physical and mental exhaustion that would break most veterans, yet she's expected to carry the entire league's expectations while her own team struggles to provide a basic safety net. This disparity in intensity means the Fever can never truly relax, because for everyone else, beating Caitlin Clark is their championship. And if the front office doesn't realize that every single game is now a high-stakes war, they're going to keep finding themselves in these dangerous, overtime battles they should have never been in. But the pressure on the court is only half the battle, because what's happening in the record books is even more insane.